On that issue, same-sex marriage, Senator, you're the candidate of yesterday.
Well, a couple points. Number one, that is an issue that will largely be determined at the state level, since marriage laws have always been defined by the states. I'm not, for example, ever supported a federal constitutional amendment to define marriage, because I believe states define marriage in their laws. And if in fact people feel that way, as that poll says, then they can petition their state legislature to change the law. The second point I would make is I think there's still a significant number of Americans that believe that the definition of marriage should be that of one man and one woman, as it has been for thousands of years.
All right, Jake Tapper going after Marco Rubio, calling him the candidate of the past because of his stance on gay marriage. Joining us is Ken Blackwell, Senior Fellow at the Family Research Council, former Secretary of State from the great state of Ohio. And Ken, welcome, sir.
Steve, good to be with you, sir.
Always good to talk to you. I saw your governor, John Kasich, not too long ago at an event here in the city. Very impressive. I wonder if he's going to toss his hat into the ring eventually as well.
I would imagine he's giving it serious consideration. Ohio's back on the move, and our governor is on the move.
Yeah, so. he was indeed. All right, so let's talk about this. You know, this media coverage, Rubio. First of all, what do you think of Marco Rubio? Of the three that have announced so far, I think he's had the best rollout so far.
I think we, as a party, have been blessed with just any number of great candidates, and I think Marco is one. And he's decided to make this a generational battle. And those of us who are a little long in the tooth, like myself, would probably say, well, this is probably a different class, that this is a worldview that believes in unharnessed government versus those of us who believe in putting the harness on government and optimizing individual liberties. But the reality is that he joins a field, or let's put it this way, he's now one of the early candidates in what I think will be a field of great candidates. And I believe that steel sharpens steel. And so the primary process is going to produce, I think, a very robust candidacy and a leader that will be able to take on their Democratic opponent.
And of course, that opponent likely to be Hillary, who is, I'm sure, having a great time debating Uma Abedin in the van as they drive cross country. That's not too good.
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo. All right, and you talk about you talk about Hillary Clinton, and right away all her baggage comes to mind. Although if you listen to the media since she announced, I don't hear much about any baggage. But let's talk about cronyism, and let's talk about a piece that that you wrote about this act called the Innovation Act. What is it, and what is your problem with it?
Well, the Innovation Act is a bit deceptive in title. Because I think this joins a full force attack on the Constitution of the United States. Inventors and entrepreneurs have their intellectual property protected by the Constitution, Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution. And I think that this is yet another attack on what has made us an exceptional nation. We have been a nation of small business owners and entrepreneurs and inventors, and I think that what the so-called Innovation Act is a meat axe approach to something that needs continued surgical action with a scalpel. We know that there is a problem of endless lawsuits in the country in general, but we know that this has been an area where there's been over litigious action, and that it has to be, it actually has to be continued to be reformed. But what we see now are that some of the big actors like Google, and who happens to be one of the president's prime big business supporters, they are now attacking the little guy. They are attacking the property rights, and I think they do it at their own peril, because at the end of the day, this is a part of a strategy to unleash the full power, concentrated power of government. It goes counter to the Constitution, which was to put a harness on government to actually, and the power of government to optimize individual liberty. Steve, this is a precedent that promised to transform our market economy into a government-controlled or government-managed economy, and this is part of that plan.
Yep. No, absolutely, and I hope that the conservatives and Republicans are hearing you, because you've expressed it so eloquently, and it seems like a very, very open and shut case that you're making. Ken, always great to speak to you, sir. Thank you very much.
Good to be with you, Steve.
Take care. Ken Blackwell. Up next, the founder of Freedom Watch, Larry Klayman. Don't go away.